For the latest, we are now joined via Skype from Maseru in Lesotho by our correspondent, Rapelang Radebe. Rapelang, thank you so much for joining us. Now, Lesotho's Prime Minister, Tom Thabane, has just concluded a press conference responding to the killings. Briefly take us through his address.
Thank you. Prime Minister Thomas Thabane confirmed that it was unfortunate that at around 9 and 10 this morning, 2 army officials, being Bulane, Sechele and Tefo, Hashatsi, went into the office of the army commander, and that is where the argument ensued, and then he was shot. Then the bodyguard of the army commander then intervened, and in that incident, both officers were killed. He pleaded to Lesotho to remain calm. It's the army, Major Popa, who has taken over, who was the deputy, his deputy, has pledged allegiance to the government of the day, that everything is in order, and whoever is suspected or is associated with this merciless killing will be brought to book.
Now, Rapelang, exactly from what the Prime Minister has said in the clip that we played before, chatting to you, and the reaction from SADC, from South Africa's President Jacob Zuma, what exactly is the situation now in terms of going forward with the investigation? Prime Minister Tom Thabane has come out and said they will investigate and ensure that they find out exactly what happened and give details to the people of Lesotho, but also giving the people of Lesotho assurances that the country is calm. Paint a picture for us.
Yes, thank you. On the first press briefing, it was further announced that the committee that was tasked into following and putting the situation in Lesotho under control or in focus, which is the SADC Oversight Committee, will be sent, it will be jetted in tomorrow to come and make sure that things are thoroughly investigated and to see what immediate action is needed such that they can assist Lesotho in making sure that it returns to normality. Lesotho were relatively there was a bit of tension because anything that is related to the military can never be something that can be taken lightly. But most of them relatively understand that these are issues that happen in the upper echelons and hardly ever concern the ordinary people in the street. But these are people that we stay with, that we share, drive roads, the same roads, and there's a reason to be genuinely concerned for what happened. But a lot will transpire tomorrow. The army will actually release a statement. There will probably be more details as to what actually transpired on that particular day and how far they are with the investigation.
Now, Rapelang, we've seen a former Lesotho's Deputy Prime Minister, Motsomotso, fleeing to South Africa a few days ago, or a day or two ago, fearing for his life. This was last week. Now, do we know the reasons behind him fleeing, with the fact that he was fearing for his life, and the reaction from government? And now a couple of days later, there's this unfortunate incident where there's an assassination and the killing of other army officers. What exactly happened? What caused Motsomotso to flee Lesotho?
Yes. It is difficult to really connect the dots into this particular issues. But what transpired is that earlier in the week, the former Defense Minister, Tefo, was called by police to be questioned regarding the death of one particular policeman, Constable Retaliation. Retaliation had been killed and was not found for a long time. He was later exhumed and reburied. Now, what happens is when he was called in for questioning, he was actually charged with murder. He stayed with the police for a while, but he then claimed that he was brutally tortured. This is when the thing now skipped the country, fearing that he had heard that the police were looking for him. We are not sure whether they were looking for him in regard to that particular incident. The police denied that they were looking for him, but he ultimately had fled to South Africa. Now, this could have led to other political. We know that the DC, which is Democratic Congress, the deputy leader also skipped and led the country together with Maseru. Now, how these things connect, we are yet to find out, but this is what transpired when Mokhosi was arrested and he claimed torture that Maseru said he feared for his life. He said he had been getting the calls regarding the death threat, but the police said they had not received any tip-off or any formal reporting regarding to the death threat he was talking about.
And what's been the reaction from former Deputy Prime Minister Motsomotso after the incidents of today, this morning?
Today has been overwhelming with a lot of information. We're struggling to find the proper information. So he has not made a statement. We have been just concentrating to trying to find out exactly who died, what happened. There was just a lot of rumors going on. I guess to an extent that nobody actually took any concentration to what Maseru had been implicated with. When we heard that the army commander was killed, it immediately shocked everyone and took them by surprise. And I think the issue of Maseru sort of subsided. But we will try and see whether there is any particular connection regarding this thing. The police are insisting that they were not looking for him. If he was being looked for, it was nothing to do with what was happening at the time. So we are yet to find out as to whether there is any connection that Maseru could be related, which has led him to leave in the country.
Now, Rapelang, let's speak about the ordinary people on the ground in Lesotho. What's the reaction from the Lesotho with regards to the assassination that took place this morning and the killings of the other officers?
I suppose Lesotho has become very resilient. With all the turmoil and the political instabilities that has been going on, somehow they've found courage to continue with their life. But there was a visible reduction in normal traffic towards the evening, that people were beginning to sort of seek shelter and go home, probably in time, to avoid anything that might happen after that. But speaking to a few of them, they were complaining that they do not get sufficient information, they are not engaged, and therefore feel like they are being left out of the conversation of the things that really involve them. And the complaint was that it would be a lot nicer if they would be more involved, such that they can have a way. We are still waiting to see whether we will get that stakeholder, which will reveal a lot of what other people want to have an input in.
Now, finally, Rapelang, as we wrap up, just very quickly, from your observation, being on the ground, is the new coalition government that took office in Lesotho in June under Prime Minister Thomas Thabane, are they in control of the army?
He was quite adamant, and his tone was quite straightforward, that he will not be fleeing. He's in control. The army has his support of the current regime, and looking at his tone, he looked relatively in control of the situation. Now, the question is trying to separate ordinary criminal elements that people could be facing, and for him to be now enforcing the rule of law, because a lot of issues had gone undetected, and some of them with impunity. So for him to be effecting justice as required versus what could be deemed as a political instability or political tension, this is where drawing a line becomes a bit problematic. But as he said, he was adamant, he's in control, he's in charge, and he has support from the military.
Rapelang, thank you for that update, and thank you so much for joining us. That was our Lesotho correspondent, Rapelang Radebe, joining us from Maseru in Lesotho.